The New York Liberty have let go Sandy Brondello. Well, in their terms, they will not renew her contract. In our eyes, they parted ways. She was fired, essentially. But not as bad as being fired, I guess. But that's just how we talk out here. Nonetheless, I'm shocked. She's been a coach there for 4 seasons. You look at the past 3 seasons, she made it to the finals in her 2nd season. She won the finals in her 3rd season, and they lost in round 1 this year. Outside looking in, you look at this franchise and you see that's a successful franchise. New York is a powerhouse in the W right now.
The New York Liberty just made one of the most confusing moves in WNBA history, and fans are still trying to figure out why. A championship-winning coach was suddenly pushed out, and the ripple effects could change Caitlin Clark's entire future in this league. But how did we get here? And why does it feel like something bigger is happening behind the scenes? When the Liberty fired Sandy Brondello, it wasn't just surprising. It was jaw-dropping. This was a coach who had led her team to a 22-2 run down the stretch and who had the full support of her players. Instead of rebuilding, the Liberty had been dominating. And then, just like that, she was gone. This wasn't the kind of decision that made sense on paper, which immediately raised the question: if it wasn't about wins and losses, then what was it really about? And that's where the story takes a strange turn. Brondello isn't just another coach. She's one of the most successful figures the WNBA has ever seen. A championship in Phoenix, finals appearances, years of consistency. And with New York, she built a system that highlighted stars like Breanna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu, while keeping the team near the top of the standings. When you line up the stats, there's almost no reason to part ways with her. That's why fans were quick to call this firing nonsense, and even the worst decision in Liberty history. But if fans were stunned, what about the players who trusted her? Inside the locker room, players were baffled. They had stood by their coach after injuries derailed the postseason. They had praised her leadership and defended her publicly. And yet, none of that seemed to matter when the decision came down. Online, Liberty fans erupted. Some called for explanations. Others suggested deeper motives. Rival fan bases joked about stealing Brondello for themselves. The chaos was immediate, and the whispers about something else going on only grew louder. And that's when Indiana Fever fans spotted an opening.
New York Liberty head coach Sandy Brondello has been fired. Code red, everybody alert. Sandy Brondello is out on the market. We got a shark out on. I think Sandy Brondello is the best option for us to get the Caitlin Clark of Iowa. Bring in Sandy. Bring in Sandy, and it's going to be showtime, because I believe if you get Sandy, Sabrina Ionescu's a free agent. Breanna Stewart is a free agent. We talking big business now. We talking big boys.
In Indiana, the conversation shifted fast. Fans of Caitlin Clark and the Fever were suddenly demanding a coaching change of their own. Stephanie White's future was questioned, and Brondello's name shot to the top of wish lists. For Fever supporters, this was a dream scenario. Caitlin Clark paired with one of the most tactical minds in basketball. A partnership that could unlock the full potential of the league's brightest star. And as it turns out, Clark already had history with Brondello. And it's not what you'd expect. At the All-Star game, something unusual happened. Caitlin Clark maneuvered to have Brondello coach her squad. And during that game, it looked less like coach and player, and more like a partnership. Brondello gave Clark the freedom to lead, almost like an assistant coach on the floor. That kind of respect doesn't just appear overnight. It was a glimpse of how their chemistry might look in the future. Clark's vision combined with Brondello's experience. Some fans even described it as foreshadowing. But the story doesn't stop with chemistry. There are people who believe this connection made them both a problem for the league. Now here's where speculation takes over. Rumors suggest that Brondello's firing wasn't really about performance. Reports claim it had more to do with league politics. a quiet attempt to prevent Clark from gaining too much power too quickly. Some fans believe the WNBA is uncomfortable with Clark's rapid rise. She already drives ratings, headlines, and ticket sales. Add in a coach like Brondello who empowers her even more, and suddenly you've got a duo the league might see as too dominant, too fast. Of course, these are just theories, nothing confirmed. But the timing of Brondello's exit, right as Clark is cementing herself as the face of the league, has fueled endless speculation. And when you step back, the bigger picture looks even stranger.
Just saw this news and I went, what the bleep? Literally, audibly out of my mouth, what the F?
The WNBA is at a crossroads. On one side, the league wants to market its stars. On the other, it doesn't want one player to completely control the narrative. And that's exactly what seems to be happening with Caitlin Clark. She's already influencing coaching discussions, shifting fan loyalty, and dominating coverage. Pairing her with Brondello might tip the balance of power too far, too fast. Some insiders whisper that the Liberty's move wasn't just about their own franchise. It was about keeping control over the league's direction. And if that's true, then this story is way bigger than one coaching change. For now, Brondello is a free agent in the coaching world. The Fever have a fan base begging for her to join, and Caitlin Clark, whether directly involved or not, remains at the center of every conversation.
2 WNBA championships, and the year before, in 2023, won the Eastern Conference title. I mean, what are we doing? She's got a 600 winning percentage and a ton of experience.
So here's the question. Is this just a coincidence or part of something calculated? If Indiana makes the move and pairs Clark with Brondello, the WNBA could be looking at a dynasty in the making. If not, fans will always wonder whether outside forces pulled the strings. And that lingering uncertainty may be the most powerful part of this story. Sandy Brondello's firing wasn't just about a team losing its coach. It was about a ripple that could reshape the league, influence Caitlin Clark's path, and maybe even expose how much control the WNBA really wants to keep. The real question is this: was Brondello's exit simply bad timing? Or was it a warning shot to anyone who gets too close to Caitlin Clark's rising influence? Drop your thoughts below. Should Indiana make the move now? Or is this whole situation part of a bigger game we're only starting to see?